John Ellis, CEO of Agile Auto. Scott paid you guys props at the opening of the show. John, welcome to the Car Dealership Guy Daily Dealer Live Show.
Thanks. Just excited to be here.
Yeah, so you heard Scott talk about the impact. He's in a brand new marketplace, not selling a ton of used cars. He's got to understand the vehicles to acquire that make most sense in his
Mm.
marketplace. And given that huge increase in used inventory or used car sales, granted it's a small quantity, but huge for his store and marketplace, that's a big increase. So, what would you say is driving that growth the most at stores like his from your perspective at Agile Auto?
Yeah, thanks for the question. It's a great one because it's why we founded Agile Auto, focusing in prioritization on acquisition before retail. And so that was the key to his success from the beginning. As we know, Scott's been an amazing number one in his market and brand, new car seller, but getting to that used car volume in a market like his, and most markets in our country, especially post COVID, requires focused attention on acquisition first, retail second.
Yeah, and it's interesting. You talk in your notes, the intake notes. You say, "quote No more dashboards, real decisions." So, what does that look like actually at 7:30 a.m. for that used car manager looking to make those purchases? Right?
Yeah, it's a great question. We try to simplify things. Early on, we had great strategic advisors like Bob Hollingshead, and a former Marine with us myself, who's been so kind to us. Ed French, I can name many that said, keep it simple, stupid. You want to make sure that the operators can get going right away. So our platform, albeit it layers on top of the IMS and DMS and bubbles up some really gold nugget intelligent pieces to run the acquisition to retail side of the business and used cars. We call it a used car manager playbook. We don't want it to be a dashboard. We don't want it to be something you have to look at every day. It is literally just a scorecard that's live so you can pace your success. But what we deliver in the morning at 7:30 a.m. is a playbook. Do this and this and this, and you'll get back on track and you'll be able to get back to 100% pacing. If you're at 100% pacing, we're going to push you to go over your goal. But you
And
have to look at the acquisition first, and that's where we start.
and so this system that provides this playbook, what data points is it pulling in to help create this playbook for an individual dealer point? What's it calculating?
So it's very unique. So if you think about it in how I'm going to explain it, it's your IMS, your DMS, and our local market intelligence smashed into one. And we
Okay.
take all that data and we run it through our patented proprietary algorithms and LLM models built with 100 years of experience. You've talked to Scott and JR and many others
Yeah.
that their minds are in this. How do we run these tight, productive used car operations? What do we pay attention to? And we've got NADA, KPI fundamentals in there for the departments. We measure against them. So once we bring this data together, we don't just report on the data, what you did and where you are, which most BI tools do, data rails
Yeah,
and
that's
many of the
backward
others.
looking, right? You got
Yeah,
to go fix something you did in the past.
our algorithms watch a weighted sales forecast and the market, looking at your inventory inflows and the process of how they're leaving the store and profitability in turn, and determine what levers need to be pulled to maximize tomorrow. And
So
that's what
give
the
me
virtual performance coach does. It builds that daily action plan. This is what you need to do, used car operator, to get back on track or to get tomorrow even greater than today.
So give me an example, February 2026, John, of a plan that a used car manager might wake up to at 7 a.m. If when they log into this system using all these different data points and then embedding AI into it.
Well, that's a great question. So, like, I'll give you, I don't think Scott will mind me sharing because it's not proprietary data. Scott's 20% behind in his inventory because he had such a tremendous January and he
Yeah.
had a really good December. So, his plan is he needs to acquire 12 cars today. He needs to sell 3 cars today, and he needs to net $7,061 in revenue. If he does those 3 things today, he will be at 100% inventory balance. He'll be at
Hmm.
100% unit pacing, and he'll be at 100% revenue outlook pacing for a month. Of course, he has to continue that every day, but it gets easier and easier as you catch up. The way we focus on that for an operator is when I walk in the morning, our operators no longer look at the CRM first. They look at Agile and they go, okay, my look to book ratio is this, my appointment to close ratio is this. So Agile is telling me I need 35 appraisals today. I need 7 appointments and I need to average a 2354 PVR. They
Hmm.
get that email at 7:30 in the morning, and all of our used car managers that are active in the platform send this out to the team. Guys, this is our plan for today. Let's don't shut out the lights till we meet this goal. We call that aim small, miss small, and our operators are performing at over 100%. Because what do the used car managers tell me? They say, I didn't know what I was. I just knew I was supposed to sell everything I
Yeah.
could and make all the money I can. And Agile Auto keeps me on track every day from what my owner, my GM has said is my goal.
So, John, you talk about intelligence over instinct. Contrast that to what a traditional used car manager might do or a traditional team might do at 7 a.m. that could unintentionally, because they're well intentioned, might cause the store harm in their acquisition strategy, not having that data.
Yeah, I think that's a great question because when you're behind the eight ball, we panic. So
Yes.
the virtual
Yes.
performance coach measures your success by day. It's the elephant at one bite at a time. So nobody panics. Without it, what do? We need 20 cars today. Well, that's what we fix with Agile. Our patented optimal inventory monitor that builds a dealer's buy plan every day keeps you from selling 20 and then going to buy 20. Or
Yeah.
what
What's
the
wrong with that strategy, though? That's a common strategy. Sell 40, you go buy 40. What's wrong with that?
You said it at the opening. The post-COVID hypersensitive market based on levers the dealer doesn't get to participate anymore. Unemployment, interest rates, all the things that have just changed our supply side of the COVID and used cars, that at any moment the price could drop and go like this. We don't want to play that roller coaster game in acquisitions. So our buy plan allows the dealer to buy like a tortoise, not a hare. The
Mm,
tortoise always beats the hare. If you'll follow this weighted sales forecast optimal inventory monitor that builds this plan and continue to buy, even if it's slow, right? We stop buying when it's slow. That's a mistake. We're buying to a weighted sales outcome. We're not buying to today's outcome. And if it gets too fast, we know to pick up the pace a little bit. I'm never bulk buying and bulk selling.
mm,
That's where the dealers have gotten hurt, even in COVID. I know dealers that made inorganic profits and then lost inorganic losses because the COVID did this. Well, guess what? The roller coaster is still there. And according to JD Power and Black Book, it's going to be here past 2030. It's going to take a while for us to balance that inventory load out in the used car market.
So, longtime listener and poster in the show Yoga Cars, who we also saw at NADA, by the way. Props,
Yeah.
Yoga Cars. Thanks for being here. Asking the question: does Agile deliver leads to buy cars, or does Agile give you a plan? What does that
That's
look
a great
like?
question. So Agile Auto does three things. We build an optimal inventory buy plan. We build a dealer and market specific intelligent vehicle buy list. And then we build a channel productivity list to know where to focus first. So look, new car trades are not the number one profitable trade anymore. At least they haven't been when people have traded their 12 and 13-year-old car in for
Hmm.
that new. So you have to measure what your most profitable channel is. And then you have to measure how much inventory you need so you know how to focus. And then finally, our preferred vehicle buy list looks at all of your historical sales and then measures the last 120. Then it looks at the market and what it's selling, and it marries them together to build a preferred buy list for that specific nameplate, that specific market, and all the way down to the store. We sell
Hmm.
Subarus better than we sell Mazdas, right? So once you know what my most valuable at commodity is in a used vehicle, you can continue to rebuild that buy plan. And then we're going to bring the market in and say, don't forget this. This is selling it. If you're interested, buy this. And it's a very digitally savvy buy list that they export. And then they give it to their service drive manager. They give it to their desk manager. Everybody's an army of acquisition specialists. That has increased direct from consumer acquisitions by 20% because
Hmm.
you are now comfortable as a salesperson or as someone in the service drive to go, oh, I know this is a good car for my store. Oh, and it says it's great in the market. So I'm comfortable bringing it to my manager and saying, I've got one on the list. You might want to take a
So,
look at this.
so I want to go to two questions. Scott talked about building a buy center. I do
Mhm.
eventually want to ask how this product differs from a lot of other stuff in the market because there are products that'll deliver vehicles sold and how popular certain vehicles are in the market. But before we go to that, Scott talked about how he's had enough success in used cars. He sees the need for a buy center, so he's going to
That's right.
start to do this. Is the buy center a recommended strategy with a tool like yours? And how does building that buy center look like with this sort of data?
Yeah, it's fantastic. So we're integrated with VenQ. We're vendor agnostic. Every one of our dealers has a DMS and IMS. We just give them the access to data they don't have there using our proprietary algorithms.
Hmm.
But if you think about how to use this with those vendor tools. So
Hmm.
with a KBB ICO buy center, for example, or VenQ's virtual buying center, their managers bubble up this preferred vehicle buy list to be the inventory they know they can step up on. The one thing about our preferred vehicle buy list is in a difference, it's why the VenQ wanted it, it's why other legacy tools miss it. We don't look at the Toyota, Honda, Nissan, and Ferrari store selling the same Honda Accord in your market. You're not going to get good representative data because their front grosses are going to be different. Their turns are going to be different. What they pay for the car is going to be different. So their net to sales. We look at what you do well, and does what you do well in the next acquisition match that? And does it match the store's dynamic? So you know
Mm.
your front gross, back gross, turn, day supply, and the the inventory volume that you have on lot. And when you put in the VIN in our agile vehicle analysis tool, it tells you, hey, this Honda Accord, it does not match the store's goals. You can still buy it, but know that you will not get to your front gross average if you buy this car over and over again.
S-
Or we can tell you the propensity to finance. You can count on 90% of the time this vehicle finances in your store. And those are indicators that no one else has. And all that's
Interesting.
built in that preferred vehicle buy list.
Online question. Robert Marcioni says, is Agile built for used car managers at franchises, or can an independent dealer from profit from technology like that?
Yeah, we have a lot of independents on. Look, independents go by gut more than franchise dealers because they own their inventory. They touch it every day. It's personal. And franchise dealers, I'm not saying it's not personal, but there's so much else going on. We
Yeah.
have found that even that's a more of Achilles heel for independents. So we really act as bumper guards on the bowling alley to make sure they can step up on a car, or maybe this is a velocity car that we need to
So,
price correctly right away.
so what do you say to a used car manager listening to the show right now who's a vet, been buying cars for a long time, is feeling a little bit of the pressure because of the market? It's changed so quickly, all the reasons we listed at the top of the show, but
Mhm.
says, you know, if I have all this data AI driven, I'm just one step away from being run out of the dealership altogether. It takes away the art of me as a used car manager making wise decisions, buying used cars. That's what I'm paid for after all. Is this a threat to my job, or is this type of data an enhancement to things I already know?
Yeah, I think it takes gut. That's why we study your sales data and the market data, but it's still your preferred vehicle buy list. I'll give you an example. The market may be selling something very well, but it's just not traditionally a piece that we want in our store. So dealers do make that final decision, but it gives them that secondary, that second opinion. Think about, I'll correlate buying inventory like heart surgery. It can be that detrimental if you buy the wrong stuff. And
Yeah.
so, don't we want to
Yeah.
have a second doctor's opinion before we go in and have surgery? Well, we can
Yeah.
give you that second opinion in less than 5 seconds, which enhances the legacy vehicle appraisal tool that you use with different data than they supply. So, I would say, if anything, it gives that used car manager the confidence they need to sprint. Where right now we kind of jog. We're worried about, oh, I'm gonna make a mistake here. I'll make a mistake here.
Yeah.
We're going to keep
Yeah.
you in the guardrails and allow you to sprint to your success model.
Interesting. Very cool. Well, John Ellis, CEO of Agile Auto, I may have to reach out to you to see a little bit about a demo at some point. So appreciate your
Fantastic.
perspectives and sharing this technology on the show. Thanks for being
Thank you,
here.
Sam. Yeah, I appreciate it.